Hey guys, I'm going to be talking today a bit about some different digital tools that I've been using in my classroom lately. Now, most of my material is hosted on the website that I use for class. That's marshlatin.wordpress.com. You can see a screenshot of it right here. So most of my students hit this page almost every day. And if you look at my home page on there, you'll see that I frequently update with study materials, guides, social information, and of course my Twitter feed is on the side as well for students to know what we're doing each day, because I actually use Twitter to put out my assignments instead of something like Remind. So one of the things I want to talk about today is the use of Edpuzzle. Now, I frequently do use the flipped instruction method in my classrooms for grammar instruction. So I do teach some grammar in class, but I also have every grammar concept mapped with a paired video. So traditionally what I've done is asked students if they're having trouble to go and watch those videos on their own, and then we assess in class. But for the stage we're on right now, which is stage 14, I decided instead that I was going to put together an Edpuzzle video, which uses the same video that I've traditionally used, but now it has embedded quiz questions into the video. So we can see as we stare at it, we've got a series of questions down here at the bottom that I have embedded in there. So you can watch the video, and when students get to that question, get to that part, they can see the questions up here. So what are the two types of Latin adjectives, first declension and second declension adjectives in that case? This isn't to say it's the only way that we use it, but this is the first time I really used Edpuzzle. In the past, I've used Educanon a little bit, but it mandated that you pre-upload all of your rosters, and that was sometimes a little bit difficult because this isn't necessarily for every student. This is really for two different kinds of students. Students who are really working on covering a concept that they don't know yet, or working on ahead, trying to get ahead of everyone. So this is a new test for me, but it was relatively easy to make, especially since I already have all the videos already done. All I really had to do was use their skin over it to put in the embedded questions. And then it reports the information to me, and I can upload that into a separate file for data analysis. The other tool I use a lot of is Kahoot. So this is my Kahoot page. As you can see, I have 143 Kahoots that I've made. I teach 7 different preps. So 143 is obviously a lot of Kahoots. But because I teach 7 different preps, I've got material for all of my preps in here. So when I use a Kahoot, so for example, today we did stage 14 grammar, I can search pretty quickly to pull it up. I've got 2 grammar options, stage 14 grammar, which is just for general review, and then a grammar review that I'll do again at the end of the chapter to review for students before the test. So when we open up these Kahoots, you can see that it's basically a multiple choice format, but the nice thing is that students can use their own devices or phones to log in, and they play competitively against each other. And it's pretty fun. Students seem to enjoy it a lot. So what I normally do in a class is we will start a class with a warm-up, and then based on their performance, we'll break into 2 groups. Students that have done well on the warm-up will go and play a Kahoot, while students who have not done as well will have a remediation activity, which normally brings them back to the original source of instruction. So Kahoot and Edpuzzle are significantly different, and I use them in some pretty different ways as a result, but they're both really useful tools, and they both work conveniently with my website, and that's the other piece that's very nice. I've been thinking about using some blind Kahoots sometime in the future, but I have not quite gotten to that point yet, in part because I just teach so many preps, and sometimes it can be hard to figure out how to start it.